So I guess the rest of the reptile world is having the FWC chat. So perhaps we should too. And my basic opinion on the whole situation is that it's disgusting and deplorable and horrible. So I'm not going to link any videos because I think anybody who wants to see it can easily find it and easily see what happened and see the heinous acts that were perpetrated by FWC. You want to make these animals illegal. I don't agree with it, but I get it. This is a Burmese python. They're not for everybody. They're not for most people. They're terrible pets in the sense that the average person cannot do right by this animal. But for the persons that can, for the men and women that work with these animals responsibly and work with these animals daily and love these animals and treat these animals with respect, the regulations that they are trying to put on us they're just wrong, honestly. I think there should be more regulation, not less. I don't think you should be able to go into a random pet store and put $200 on a counter and walk away with a Burmese python or a reticulated python or an Asian water monitor or a Nile monitor or an alligator or any number of other animals. I think there should be licensing. I think there should be registration for these animals. But in Florida, a person had well over 100 Burmese pythons and reticulated pythons, was complying with the law in every way, ran out of time and asked for an extension and was met with murder. Plain and simple. A team showed up at his house and killed dozens of snakes. Now, the thing everybody's hung up on seems to be the boa that was legal that they killed by mistake. And I don't believe that they did it by mistake. I think it was intentionally done. I think certain people don't like snakes. And I think that they had an opportunity to do what they did, and they did it, and that is what it is. And we'll never know the truth on that, nor does it matter. But that's not the point. The point isn't that they killed an animal that was legal. The point is that they killed dozens of animals for no reason. Dozens of animals that were properly kept and healthy and happy and not harming anyone. And the owner of these animals was doing everything the right way to the best of his ability. These regulations are there for a reason. I understand that. But these regulations should also not be there to harm those of us that are doing things the right way. I am not saying he should have been allowed to keep his snakes. The laws are the laws, and the laws are the laws for a reason. I understand that. I don't have to agree with them. I don't have to be on their side. I don't have to think it makes sense. The laws are the laws. But what the law shouldn't do is say, I know you're trying to comply. I know you're trying to do the right thing for yourself, for the community, for the animals, and by our state. But, it didn't go exactly our way, so we're just going to come and slaughter all of your animals. And no, they didn't slaughter all of his animals, but they slaughtered all these beautiful animals. Burmese pythons, reticulated pythons, animals that have a significant financial value, as well as a significant emotional value and a connection. These animals are pets. These animals are a part of our lives. We don't do this to get rich. If we wanted to get rich, if that was the only point, there are much better ways to get rich. There's not a person in the world that's going to tell you that you're going to get rich with reptiles quicker than you're going to get rich with stocks or real estate or cryptocurrency or any number of other avenues. And there are a lot. This is a passion project. Now, there are, of course, facilities out there that have lost their passion and do not do it the right way. But we're talking about a gentleman who had a lot of snakes, was doing his best to comply, and because he called up FWC and tried to do the right thing and tried to get a extension while actively seeking new homes outside of the state for his animals, because he tried to do right by the law, they responded with slaughter, with a massacre, with heinous acts that no civilized government should commit, because they're snakes and not dogs or cats. And I don't think anybody should kill dogs or cats either. But I'll tell you that house cats are much more destructive than Burmese pythons. And while I don't think that any animal should be killed for the acts of humans, if you're going to do this to snakes, you should theoretically do it to house cats. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not promoting that. That's not what I want. There's got to be a better answer than slaughter. And when you have a government that does things like that, what you are going to cause is people skating under the law. You want people to comply with you. You want people to follow laws. You want people to work with the government. And then you go and slaughter their animals? No one's going to be honest. People are going to do things behind the government's back. People are going to do what they want and keep what they want and not tell the government, because the government does not act appropriately. The FWC does not act appropriately. You want to take the snakes away? Go for it. You want to fight them? Go for it. But to go in there and slaughter dozens of animals that are just being animals that didn't ask to be put in that situation. This is a crazy world. This is a crazy world. We live in a world where women don't have full autonomy of their bodies. We live in a world where, I don't want to make this super political. We live in a world where a lot of things are happening that probably shouldn't be happening. We live in a world where an animal can be outlawed and the FWC can just go and slaughter those animals. For what? For what? The only good snake is a dead snake? That seems to be FWC's stance on large constrictors. And I'll tell you one thing, this ain't the end. It's not going to end with these Burmese pythons and reticulated pythons, anacondas, boas. Anything over a corn snake is in danger, and sooner or later, the corn snake will be in danger. Look, guys, I'm a turtle guy. This is a turtle channel. We do turtles here. But this is a real threat to all of us, to all of our animals, to all of our hobbies, to all of our passions. You want people to do things the right way. You want people to abide by your laws. You want people to respond properly and appropriately to your regulations. And you don't respond properly and appropriately to people. Join USARC. Fight this. Fight this while there's a fight to be had. Because my hopes for this part of our world, this hobby, this little slice of heaven, are not high. Guys, send emails, make phone calls, join USARC, no threats, be professional, but make your voices heard. None of this is okay. And this won't get better unless we fight. And even if we do, it might get worse. This stinks. This will continue to stink until we make it that it doesn't stink. That's it.